Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV Q&A tonight. Welcome everyone. We have a lot of people here. We have a lot of people asking questions, and it looks like a fun night tonight. Ed's got some fun plans, some glass chat, some demos, and we have a little surprise to show you. And
yeah, it's all good tonight, Barb, and you know we want to jump right in there, and I guess we've got some questions already lined up from everybody that have asking questions. So we're going to get started on that first so that we don't miss anyone.
First, I'd like to say hello to everyone. We have so many people here. I don't know if I can say individually every single name that's here because there's so many people and a lot of questions tonight.
And you know we appreciate you being here, so thank you very much.
Appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you so much. We just got a chat. Is that Tom?
Oh, y'all, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom. We appreciate that.
Because, you know, tonight's kind of a celebration night. We've let everybody know we hit our goal at 10,000 subscribers, and we can't do that or couldn't do that without your help.
And, yeah, thank you, Tom. And Tom had a question. He said that he has been messing around with a piece that he wants to fuse the letters together, but doesn't know if one layer or two layers of glass is best with the clear glass, with just one layer with the clear glass.
Well, if you're going to fuse the letters together, I would do one layer with the glass, one layer of clear on the glass, and that should really suffice everything because you're going to want to roll those edges and make it really good. And you're going to, you know, I think if you do two letters, that's going to change you up to about a 3 millimeter. And then you're going to have to worry about your annealing time and everything. So the thicker you go, the longer your annealing process, Tom. But if you go, you know, 2 pieces of 1/8 inch glass, which would be your colored glass, and then your clear, as long as they're compatible, I think that thickness is probably just fine for what you're trying to do. What do you think, Barb? Because Barb's really the fusing technician here. She's on it, and she's done a lot more fusing than I have. I'm kind of the guy that opens the door and carries everything to the back and cuts the glass.
Anna had a question. What brand of paint or paint markers do you use on our stained glass?
Well, hey Anna, thanks for tuning in tonight. And so if we're painting on glass, we use Rocher paints or enamels, powdered glass. And if we're just marking, like tracing out our patterns on glass, we use the Sharpie medium point paint pen. So, and they come in silver, gold, and white, which are really good colors, especially if you're working on black glass. But as far as like painting on glass, for sure, we use only the Rocher paints because we fire them up to approximately 1250 degrees. And that's where we need to be to make sure they don't come off for our lifetime and our grandchildren's. I hope that answers your question.
So I'm not sure if she was talking about painting on glass or
marking the glass with your pattern. I'm not sure.
So
I answered both ends of that. We got you covered on both sides of the channel there, I hope.
I'm sorry. I'm reading another question here. We have another question. How's the best way to search our videos? They think they may have done one for cutting glass plates, and I got a notification but couldn't watch right that moment. Then I couldn't find it. The best way to search the videos is just go to our content, and there's a search bar at the top, and just put in the word
cutting or
whatever word you're looking for, and you should be able to find the videos that way.
You also have the playlist.
And then we have a playlist. Yeah. So yeah. I hope that helps.
It is, and you know, I just got upgraded to being able to look at things like that. So tonight for a glass chat, I actually had to look up a video to make sure that I could tell you where to go. Well, ask you to look at that video and check out what we're talking about tonight.
Pauline says she wants to tell you that the wire trick around the little ornaments works great, and She hopes we're doing fine.
Pauline, we are doing fine, and I want to thank you for that nice comment. You know, those little things, it's all those little tiny things together that will help you complete your work, and your customers will be happy forever because, and you know, when you put that in the bag for them at the show and they walk off with it and they've paid you, you know they're not going to bring it back. They're going to come back and see you because they want something else because that piece stayed together so well for you. That's awesome. Thank you for the comment.
Richard Fox wants to know, how do you prepare your stained glass panel for patina? How do you, so this is 2 questions.
Okay.
How do you prepare it for patina? How do you apply and finish, polish, and or buff wax your piece? So from the point of patina, how do you finish your piece?
Wow. I think we have a video on that.
We do.
We do. We have a video on that. But you know what? We'll go ahead and answer that in short form, I think, because it's kind of drawn out, the process. So after cleaning my copper foil project thoroughly with my baking soda and water, then I'm going to patina it. And now I'm going to clean it again thoroughly to get the patina residue off of that window. Now remember, I'm a big fan. If you can't complete the process while you're working on it and want to go to bed and start it in the morning, please don't do that. Start the whole thing in the morning and complete it in a really good timely manner. So after that is cleaned thoroughly twice, then I'm going to take I like to use just a liquid turtle wax. Turtle wax don't pay us for anything. It's just what I use. And it's very common for everybody else. So I take my wax, apply it to the piece after it's completely cleaned. And, in this whole process, you're cleaning this window and messing it up about 4 times. So you're going to apply your wax and you're going to let it get a nice little skim coat on it, just like you would that beautiful car you drive. Let it get a coat on it. And then you're going to personally, I go through t-shirts like Kleenex. So I keep my old t-shirts in my stained glass room, and I use my old 100% cotton t-shirts to polish my windows before I put them in the frame. So you can do that on both sides, but make sure that you take the time to get textured glass is the worst. So be really careful with the wax on the textured glasses, because sometimes it'll get in those cracks and it'll take you a little bit longer to get it out. Anytime you miss wax on cleaning your window, you're going to find a nice little white halo around the edge, just like you would on your car if you missed a spot on the fender or on the wheel. So remember, cleaning your project start to finish all at one time, not 1 or 2 days apart, is always the best route.
And you told him about the baking soda, right?
Yeah, the baking soda and water is your initial clean when you're completing with your solder. If you clean it with the baking soda and water, what's going to happen is your black patina is going to turn jet black right now, and that's it. It's done, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I used it the other day. It's
I hope that answers your question.
Okay, Larry Mary's here, and he says he has a piece of glass. It's pink glass, but when the light comes through, it goes to a burgundy color. Any idea why it does this?
It's probably not what they call a gold pink glass. Gold pink is more of a cranberry, Christmassy kind of color. And some pink glasses, when you hold them up, and again, hey, you know what, Larry? Hey, if you can get a picture of that in the light and send it to us, I'd like to see it. So show it to me with no light behind it, and then lay it on your light box if that's the case. Get a nice picture of it and shoot it to us, here at the ARTyRV channel, and we'll take a look at it and see. If you have a part number and you could type that into the chat tonight, or a manufacturer, I might be able to help you even better.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's a model.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a modeled glass,
Yes.
and we know that Yakagani, Uroboros, Bullseye, they all make modeled glass, and they all make beautiful modeled glass. So it could be any of those 3 suppliers.
Yeah. And it has gold in it, so it tends to
If it's
change
got
color.
pink in it, it's got a little bit of gold in it because that's what's required.
Anna said that was to personalize a sun catcher. So
if you personalize a sun catcher, you can use the Sharpie. Actually, Anna, Sharpie makes a fine point paint pen as well. And that, of course, most women have beautiful handwriting, so that fine point will really work for you.
the fine point, silver or gold.
Silver or
paint
gold, and it honestly, y'all, it stays
looks
on there.
good. It's hard to get off once you
it's
get
hard
it
to get
on.
off. Once allow it to dry completely before you move it or do anything with it. Now again, these Sharpie pens, these Sharpie paint pens, they're not required to be baked on or heated up or anything. Do it, and if you don't like what it is, take some lacquer thinner, clean it off, and then take alcohol and get the film off from the lacquer thinner, and then do it again, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
But that's a quick removal tip too. So if you don't like it the first time, get rid of it with some lacquer thinner. Alcohol won't break it down right away. The lacquer thinner, you can wipe it right off, and then you want to clean the glass with alcohol and prepare it so that you can do it again and make it the way you want it.
There you go.
I hope that helped.
Great question. Great question. Patricia has a good question too. She says she's working on a panel with lead cane, which is snug against the glass. When she puts the mud putty on it, will it be okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The idea behind the putty, and if you're using our recipe off of our website, then you'll see that once that's made, it's about the consistency of pudding. So as you're pushing it into the cracks, don't worry, it's going to work its way behind the glass, even if it's snug because of the way it's fabricated. So you're going to put it in there, you're going to clean that side, you're going to flip it over and do the other side, and you're going to get that glass cemented to the lead. And the biggest part of that is going to be waterproofing that window and keeping it from rattling. Rattling causes breakage, and not using the proper glazing compound will cause leaks. I hope that helps. Hey everybody, you know what? We have a sponsor for our show, Barbara, and that sponsor is Sunshine Glassworks, with over 1,500 colors of glass in stock. And we want to welcome them to our channel and thank them for being a sponsor of the ARTyRV channel for Monday night's live Q&A.
And they sure are helpful. They
Oh,
help
they
us
are.
out every week. We have a question, and they are the guys.
Yeah, so I want to let you know, they still have the Edco black back 7/32 and 1/4 inch foil in inventory. So if you can't find the foil anywhere, give Sunshine a call. They'll be happy to help you. Talk with Sean and Scott or Barb. Any of those people will help you, and they're really good at what they do. If you're looking for a specific type of glass, it always helps them if you have a part number and or the manufacturer. And if you don't, you can always send them a sample. Once they receive it, they will get back with you. Because remember, they stock over 1,500 different colors of glass made by all the manufacturers. And you know what? That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. I have another question. How do you spell the stained glass paint again?
Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. So while Barb's looking for more questions, I'll kind of...
Why don't you let me look it up?
Okay.
Because I have another question here. I'll find that.
All right,
and I'll
shoot
type
me
it
another
right
one.
in there for you. Any tips on how to solder large gaps when making a design which uses cut pieces of plates? You know what I'm talking about, plates? Like dishes like we saw.
Yeah.
You know. Used around one plate in the center, sort of like a play on bevels. You cut pretty parts of the dishes and you put it together.
Right.
Just having large gaps.
Well, right now with solder prices, you want to trim those large gaps down into much smaller gaps if at all possible. However, if you're wrapping it in copper foil and you've got like a large gap in there, if you also use lead in your studio, you can always put a little bit of lead and fill that void up turn your soldering iron down just a little bit. Don't crank it up because the lead will melt. But you can what I call jump it. And if you just tack solder it and start filling it up from the outside, just like you would, like a welder would fill up a weld or anything. You start on the outside, allow it to cool, make another ring towards the inside, eventually work your way in. And then my suggestion, if you're doing stuff like that, would be to give us a call and order some of our lead rosettes to cover up those voids that you're having a problem with.
Right. Okay, so I put that in the chat, so I think it should show
That's
up.
the Rocher, right, Barb?
Rocher paint.
Yeah, you're going to love those paints. And, you know, we do have some videos about painting on glass, how we paint on glass. It's going to show you how to break it down. It's going to show you how to mix it and what medium to use to mix it. And actually, there's a couple different mediums that we use in the paint in the videos. The main one is we use water, but you can use alcohol. You can also use what's that called? What's that oil called that smells so good, Barb, in the studio when you're working with it?
Lavender
oil. Oh. But you have to be a little more advanced to work with the lavender oil because it requires you to mix your paint, allow it to sit overnight, and then it's ready to use. So.
Okay. Do you have glass suppliers you would recommend? Yes, we do. The main one that we recommend is Sunshine Glass.
Sunshine Glass. Okay.
That's who we recommend.
Yeah. So Sunshine Glass are the ones that we recommend, and also the ones that we use. So, you know, I just want to tell you about Sunshine. With all the glass that they have, you're going to find them really easy to work with. There are other suppliers out there, and I suggest, you know, you could always look for them. But if you're asking our opinion on who to use and buy your glass from, give Sunshine a try. And, you know, here's the thing. Don't just call them and say, hey, well, I need a piece of red, green, and blue wispy glass, because there's 3 manufacturers that make that, okay? So they're going to say, well, whose do you like? You like Wismac, Kokomo, Bullseye? Whose do you like? So if you're going to order glass, please have part numbers, and it'll just make your job a lot easier, and it'll make their job a lot easier, and you'll get what you're looking for.
And if you're going to buy a sheet and you need it, and you have a piece, send them that piece, and they'll be happy to research it for you and find it
and match it. Yeah.
And match it.
So unless you're going to have your glass motor freighted in, which most of the time I recommend that if you're going to order more than 1 or 2 full sheets, because full sheets, they're going to cut them up and they're going to send them to you either 16 by 21, because Kokomo sheets are still 32 by 42. Wismac has dropped their sheet size down to 32 by 32. So you're going to get 4 pieces 16 by 16. But if you need full sheets like we do we do most of the time, we're going to order a crate, and you're going to have to pay freight and everything. But if I would say probably 10 to 10 sheets and above, actually more than, have it motor freighted in. It's not going to be cheap, but if you need those full sheets, you're going to have to pay for the full sheet, not the full sheet price. It's the same price, but you're going to pay the freight on it. Okay. And and they can put 1, 2, I think they can put 3 sheets of 16 by 21, which is 12 pieces of glass in one box. And I think the shipping on that is like $58. So that's a pretty good deal. That's what they call their large box.
Okay. I had a question about how to send photos. I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can link to that. You'll go to the website and just send us a message, and then I'll send you the link for photos. So
that's good, Barb.
It's a safe way for them to send photos.
Because you know what? We have our viewer showcase next. Is it next Monday night? No, that's Halloween night. It's a week
Halloween.
after.
That's a whole
so you got 2
thing.
weeks to get your viewer showcase photos in and shoot them to us.
Okay.
So hey, if any of you guys would like to know how to help support the ARTyRV channel, we have a super chat, and we want to thank Thomas for that. We also have super stickers, or you can become a member of the ARTyRV fan club, $4.99 a month. It helps us out. It helps the channel out. It helps us with new equipment or anything that we need. That's what those things go for. We are here for you guys and only for you guys. So we appreciate everything.
Patricia said she's using our recipe.
Thank you, Patricia.
That's great.
Thank you. And I think you're going to like it. I hope you like it. I've been using it since 1988.
Jennifer has a question. She says hi.
Hey,
and
Jennifer.
She wants to know, do I need to putty a small square sun catcher that I put lead cane around? It was my first time using cane, and it's nice and snug.
Well, it may be nice and snug, but eventually the lead in the heat will stretch a little bit. And what's going to happen is it'll start to rattle. So just that little tiny bit of putty, something small like that. Jennifer, is that who it is?
Yes, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer. So yeah, something small like that, hon. You can just use. You don't even have to make a whole big batch of glazing putty. You can just take it right out of the bucket, out of the pan, the can, the DAP 33 out of the little quart-sized jar, and just put it in there with your thumb. Clean it up really pretty, brush it, polish it, and rehang it. It'll keep the glass from rattling, and that's probably the if the glass is even tight in the lid, just keeping it from rattling will do you good. And because rattling causes breakage.
That's right. Yeah, that rattling will take it out. Okay, Barry has a question. How long should you let the putty dry on the window?
You mean let it cook? We used to have an employee. I'd say, "What you doing?" He'd say, "Well, I'm just letting the windows cook." I was like, "Well, no, we don't need to let them cook. We need to get them cleaned and polished."
Well, you don't want to let the putty sit too long and dry out.
Maybe 1 hour, because what you're going to find. Who was that again, Barb? Barry.
Barry.
Hey, that's a good question. But typically, what I do is I'll put my glazing on, and then I will come back and clean the glazing off of most of the glass, and then I'll let it sit for about an hour. If you'll let our glazing recipe sit for about an hour, you'll notice that the lacquer thinner will have mostly evaporated and the putty has started to stiffen a little bit. Then you can take your stick and go around all your edges. Once you've cleaned all the edges of your window, then you can polish that side, flip it over, and you can do both sides the same day. And it's okay. Or you can, once you get one side cleaned and polished, flip it over and just let it sit if you want, and then do the other side the next day. Also, putting it out in a nice warm area. Of course, it's pretty chilly everywhere right now, but just putting it out in a nice warm area will help the lacquer thinner evaporate even faster, and the putty will stiffen up even faster. So. Don't let it cook, though.
Thank you, Ray. Ray, we had a question about a paint class, and Ray put in two links to two of our videos that teach you about painting on glass. So
thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. That's a great way to let people know some of the things that we have that they may not know about.
And now,
it's
folks,
a great start, a great video. Yeah.
It's a great video. And now, folks, we have over 300 videos. I can't remember. Maybe about
Ray knows them better
30,
than we do.
Ray knows them better than we do.
But
and
that
Ray,
was a good question.
Ray, you're a
yes.
huge help, buddy, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, have I got any more questions here?
I don't know, but it's all good tonight,
Yeah,
Barb.
y'all are hopping.
Yeah.
You guys must be really busy, all these questions and everything.
Well, I hope we're helping you out.
That was really a good idea. The question about the plates, the Lassiter family, using those rosettes.
Yeah,
That's a great answer.
Yeah, and if you want to order them, we'll get them made right up. They are 1.5 inches in diameter. They weigh 1.7 ounces, and shipping on them is probably not too bad. When you order them, we don't have any minimum order, but I think that you'd really enjoy using them. And if you're trying to cover things up, you might as well do it decoratively.
That's right.
Matter of fact, we're installing the windows tomorrow that we've installed our rosettes on to make these windows. These windows need to look like they're from the 20s and the 30s, and that's exactly what they look like.
Let's see. Tom Sharp has a question. The other day, somebody in Glass Addicts was looking for a cane stretcher. I told her she didn't need it. All she had to do was use the clamp. You guys got a video on how to stretch lead.
Right. Yeah. You know, before the lead stretcher actually came out, we used to use the lead vise on one end of the table, and we used our grousing pliers on the other end of the table. Now, Thomas, we all know that when they splice that lead together, that is the weakest link. And yes, I have picked myself up off the ground before.
Yeah, it's a trust game. Trust that person on the other end of it.
Yeah, and don't stretch it more than about 3 inches. If you'll do that, that'll be fine. But man, when sometimes that little seam will give loose, and guess what? I always stood with 1 foot behind me, pulling like that to make sure that if it did pop, I wasn't going against the wall. Because that's kind of scary. When it gives way, it gives way.
Ray said the search is working very good on the channel. So guys, if you're looking for an answer to a question, please go to the search on our channel and just search that,
Like
within
a
couple of
keyword.
words.
Yeah. Just
and you may get 3 or 4 videos.
Yeah, because
you can watch.
we do have what Barbara calls a playlist. So some of those playlists have 5 or 6 videos in them. So like all the painting videos, I think, are all together, right, Barb?
Yeah. Well, if
Kinda.
you do the search, it may take you to the playlist, but I think there is a painting playlist. But just do the search, and you'll get painting. You'll get three videos, maybe more. So.
Yeah, you guys, you guys are like standing in line with questions tonight before we even went live. So, it's so motivating to hear you guys' kind words, for you to show up early, get your questions ready, and we're happy that we can help. You
guys are ready this week.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, Barb, I'm beside myself. Well, I'm beside Barb.
He's beside me. Okay. Lassiter family, they wanted us to make a video on cutting glass plates. We'll research that. This guy can cut anything, so I'm sure he can give you a few tips on that. And we might start it out with a short, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe do a short and give you a few clues and see how that goes, and then maybe do a longer
it's
one.
a round plate. What do you want to? What would you like to do with it? What would you like us to cut out of it?
Yeah. So.
How about let us know? We'll take a look at it. We'll go out in the garage. I'll probably have some old plates out there.
Joseph Fisher wants to. I'm wondering if you could talk about artists or periods of stained glass that got you inspired to do stained glass.
Every time I look just around the internet and everything, prior to the internet, back in the 70s when I started doing stained glass, the late 70s, there wasn't anything like that available. There were books, of course. They had books out on Mr. Tiffany, and they had all the books on his proteges that left him and went into business for themselves, Mr. Willett and people like that. So all of these people. My biggest thing is actually being in the commercial glazing industry was actually working in the churches where windows were already existing in these large churches that we were working in when they were adding on. So, and most of y'all know about my background. My background is in high rises, and I worked in the high rise industry for a long time. Big glass, setting glass with cranes and things like that. And you know what? I'm glad I don't do that anymore. But the inspiration for myself with the stained glass was actually working with one of the owners of the company that I worked for, and pulled me out from the outside in the winter and needed help on a job. And I learned the stained glass from my boss's wife, who found out that I could draw. And that's all it was. She just found out that I could draw, and she needed a hand in the stained glass room. So they pulled me inside off the cold ocean front one winter. And you know what? I really never looked back until Hurricane Hugo came through, right, Barb? And then I went back into the high-rise industry.
That's
But
right.
we also were doing stained glass windows. You know, the first stained glass commission I ever got was my liability insurance guy. When we first started business, we needed liability insurance. So his deal was, I'll get you your liability insurance if you'll build me a window for my wife for the transom at our new home. So that's exactly how we did it. Remember that, Barb?
Mm-hmm.
And our first stained glass studio overlooked the beautiful Waccamaw River on our back porch when we were first married.
That's right. We were inspired by the river.
Yeah, we were inspired by the river, and this window behind us, the sailboat, was one of the first windows that was ever built in that area. So on that porch, on my grandmother's table
That's right.
that she gave us.
Annabelle would like to say thank you for the thank you card.
Oh, Annabelle,
She was real happy. Tell Annabelle we said hello.
please
And
do.
sorry it took so long.
It was the address thing, Magali,
And then the email thing. So
Yeah.
we got that all straightened out.
and
so,
I'm so happy that she got it.
Yeah.
So
so tell her we said hi.
send her
She's
give her a hug
sweetie.
for us, Magali.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. Richard Fox wants to know, Glass Addicts, is there a website or just a term for all of us who work in glass? It's a Facebook page.
It's a Facebook page that you can, and you know I get inspired every day because I look at a site that's called Graveyard Glass. I know that's a little bit morbid, not really,
What'd you
because
say?
cemeteries don't bother me.
What'd she say?
But I was
Oh,
inspired.
yeah, that's what he watched.
I'm
Beautiful.
inspired
If you have
about
one. Yeah.
color. It's not all about this particular site is
It's
called.
not a chat
It's
site.
not a chat site. It's just photographs from personal mausoleums around the country. Stained glass windows that were placed in people's mausoleums after they passed. Not all of it's painted and everything. So that would be very inspirational for many of you who don't paint on glass, because it shows you, okay? It shows you how to take the glass and manipulate it into exactly what you want, whether it be by lines, by turning, by flipping it over, using textures, smooth, layering. All of those things come into effect, but very little painting in these windows, right, Barb?
Right, but they're beautiful.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And they're inspirational to me.
Floral And people, the only thing that's painted is their face. and
Maybe their
hand.
face, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
or
their
you might
face.
a foot might be painted, or a hand might be painted. So it's really, it's very inspirational to me to still see how individual artists have used glass to make their project and to complete their job.
Karen. Hey, Karen.
Hey, girl.
Good evening, folks, she says. Question. I've not got up the nerve to do the hobby came. How do you know how to measure to make sure to have enough, and where do you position the connecting points? And the very best video, I think, that would show the easiest way to begin using came is the cabinet video.
Yeah.
But we don't use hobby cane.
No, we don't.
We
We
use lead.
Yeah, we use lead. Hobby came's the same. That's just going to come in a roll. We buy our lead by the 50-pound case, and it's already
6 foot
stretched out.
lengths.
It's not stretched, but it's in 6-foot lengths. So then all we have to do is stretch it. If you're going to use hobby cane, sometimes you may even get it where it's oxidized and everything. Right now, a 50-pound box of lead is about $350. So yeah, unless you're going to do a lot of it, like we do, I guess we have about 20 boxes here for the project that we're working on. So we've got a lot going on, but buying it that way in bulk is the best way for us to do it. So Karen, the hobby came is great, but watch the short video. Well, not really a short video. It's start to finish on the cabinet door. Start to finish on the cabinet door. It'll show you how to cut the lead with your lead nippers. Now, if you need a nice pair of lead nippers, just go to our website, get them ordered, and we'll ship them out to you. You're only 2 days away, you know that. And we offer free shipping on our tools. So,
Lassiter, they were talking about the plates. You can cut them in half and sometimes cut pieces out. So
okay, I would think
they have stars and crosses in them, so that might be kind of tricky. But yeah.
But you know what? The thing about it is the plate, just like glass, is always smooth on one side. So it gives you that advantage that you can cut it. Most glass plates, plates are probably cranked out and they're definitely pressed, okay? So, sometimes you may have trouble cutting a plate because of the annealing process,
Mm-hmm.
Most plates as well, not only are they pressed, but they're fire polished around the edge due to being on a Lazy Susan that spins with 3 torches going around it. So, and that's going to make that edge really tough.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to see if we have any more questions. This might be a good time for us to go on over and do
You want to do a glass chat?
let's do a glass chat.
Okay.
And let's see. What do we want to do?
Let's do it. Well, first of all, I got a really beautiful piece of glass to share with everyone today. And the thing about this piece of glass is it reminded me of the South Carolina sky today at about 4:45. Because I said to my grandson, I was like, hey, you know what? It waited till 4:30 for the sun to come out. All the clouds had disappeared, and this is what I saw in the sky. So let me share this with you. It's a Yakagani, part number 1006, and it's a model. Let me share it with you. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm just going to step up for a moment, guys, because this is a beautiful sheet of glass. It's really big, and so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set it right here on the arm of the chair, okay? And I want you to see it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Hey guys, if you appreciate what we're doing and everything that Ed teaches you here and shows you on the Q&A, just join the ARTyRV fan club or send us a super sticker or a super chat or just give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
So I think y'all can see this. It's a sky blue and white model. Now this is the smooth side. Again, this is a Yakagani Y1006. It's a beautiful piece of glass, and I know it needs a little bit of light behind it, but y'all really, honestly, you should be able to pretty much see exactly what this is. So let me show you the back side of it. How's that, Barb?
That's beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to lean that forward a little bit. You know, Barb, if you could hold that up, I could put a light behind this. Say when. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I can put a light behind that, I believe. It'll take just a second. I hope y'all aren't in a hurry. So we're going to share this with you.
Oh, you can't really see it.
Yeah, we have a lot of lights going on in front of us.
Yeah, you can't really see it.
But you can kind of...
Sort of.
Sort of. Anyway, y'all, this Yakagani is not only...
You can see it.
Barb.
I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
beautiful
Yeah.
this way.
You can
just like
see
this.
it.
You got it?
That's the texture. And these beautiful dark blue and white ringed models. Not just models, but ringed models. Blue models with white rings around them. This is a beautiful glass. We all know that Yakagani makes beautiful glass. And this glass, again, is easy to cut. It's been annealed correctly. So I just wanted to share that with you. That is your Y1006 Yakagani sky blue and white model. It's a beautiful glass, y'all. So hey, if you guys are kind of hanging out in the background there and you haven't joined our channel yet, we'd like you to go ahead and subscribe, please. And if you do subscribe, please go ahead and make sure that you hit that notification bell, and they'll be notified every time we come out with a live video. Did I make you scared?
Are you scared?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you scared.
Every time he does that, he scares me. Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was working.
Do I have 2 more questions I haven't answered yet? I'm going to go ahead and...
We'll get some more questions. Sure,
Okay,
go
get
ahead.
some
We're kind of
more
split this up
questions since we did-
tonight.
Okay.
It's all good.
On which side... Okay. On which side do you score iridized glass?
On the iridized side. You can score it on the iridized side, and if you need the iridized on the other side, turn your pattern over, not the glass. Cut the glass on the iridized side, because again, it's just a coating. And you know what? That coating is sprayed on the upside, which is what? It's the smooth side. So make sure you cut your iridized glass on the iridescent side. It's not going to hurt your cutter. It's really not going to hurt anything. If anything, it's going to make it easier, and you'll be able to see your score for sure. Your score for sure.
Your score for sure.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Joseph has a question.
Hey, Joseph.
He heard that we use the term hot glass and cold glass in one of our videos. Can
We
you
do.
explain the meaning of both?
Actually, I'm going to give you the meaning of 3 temperatures. Cold glass, we're working on stained glass, flat glass. That's cold glass. Warm glass is classified as slumping and fusing, which means that temperature takes you up to about 1375 to 1410, depending on the glass. Hot glass is 2150, sitting in a 7,000 pound furnace in the back of our shop with 150 pounds of clear molten glass in
A
it.
7,000.
That's how much it weighs.
Oh, okay.
Our furnace weighs about 7,000 pounds.
I had no
So let me show you.
idea.
Okay,
I didn't know
so
the floor was
so if
like
we
that.
do cold glass, we're making stained glass windows, and when we do warm glass, we're fusing, slumping, and doing those things. You know, firing paints on the glass at 1250. When we switch up to the hot glass, everybody, this is what Barb and I make. Now, I want to explain to you something. This right here, these Christmas ornaments, that'll be available on our website when the store opens on November the 16th, which is Wednesday. You want to be able to help support the ARTyRV channel? Go shopping for your Christmas presents with our Christmas ornaments for the holidays. So this is just one. This one is called, you know what it's called? Berry Berry. And it is very beautiful. Barbara names our ornaments for us because she comes up with the
Doesn't
colors
that look
too.
like berries?
It looks like berries all over. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going to share another one with them, Barb, if I can.
No, you can't do that.
Okay, I won't do that then.
Just kidding. Here you go. You want to share that one?
Well,
That's
this
a berry berry.
This is a
swirl.
berry berry, and it's a berry berry swirl. Oh, let me see. I'll get
I was
that.
going to share those under the other camera.
Okay.
So they can see. Yeah, why don't we put them all in?
Okay, so this is a berry berry swirl. This one is quite Christmassy. Barb's in charge of buttons.
Okay.
This one is quite Christmassy here. This is our holiday ornament. This is white with lipstick red, go figure, and what I call Grinch green, or Christmas green, actually. And our most popular ornament, y'all, our most popular ornament is this one right
They
here.
can't see it.
Let me move these out of the way. Because our most popular ornament is right here.
One of our most
One
popular.
of our most popular
For the
ornaments.
kids, for the girls,
Yeah.
little girls.
And
It's
this
called
one is
Frozen.
called
It's called Frozen Ice.
Frozen ice, okay? And oddly enough, this is just a beautiful, beautiful copper blue with mint green on top of it. And it is absolutely gorgeous. So this is just one more way that y'all can help support the channel, the ARTyRV channel. And by purchasing our ornaments online, all of our ornaments are free shipping. You just order them up. And we've got a new thing coming out. You'll be able to see that when you get to our website on the 16th. So this year, we're able to offer you a nice discount starting when you order 3 or more. 3 or more of our ornaments, we're going to be able to offer you a nice discount. And as you order more, the discount increases, and it's always free shipping.
Okay, Tom had a question. When are we going to give them a taste of the project we keep talking about? Soon.
Well, here's the deal. Everybody remembers we had Hurricane Ian about 4 weeks ago, Barb, 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Magali, I'm sure you remember, hon, and we're so glad that you're put back together. And along with everybody in Florida, prayers are still going out to those people. But up here, this particular project is in the marsh in Murrells Inlet, okay? Well, with the storm surge that we had, which is approximately 7.5 to 8 feet, the water came over top of the marsh walk. And what happened was, right now, the restaurant is open, but they're doing a little bit of cleanup and everything. And then we're meeting with the carpenter in about 2 weeks, and they're going to finalize all of their sizes. Y'all, it has taken us 6 months just to gather all of the materials for this project. All the materials are here. And we've been talking about it since then because we want to let you in on it.
As soon as we have the drawings ready, we'll share those.
Yeah, we'll share the drawings.
But as soon as we got a lot of other projects going on too, so we'll share it as soon as we can.
So we're getting ready to start a little side light that's entitled The Blues, and this is for a retired musician who lives here in the community now, and we're working on her side light that includes not only piano keys moving through it. We've got some different musical notes and everything, and she's really excited about it. And next week we'll be bringing you photographs of the sea turtle, so it's good.
Okay, so Karen had a question about the class we're going to be teaching at the first of the year and wanted to know if lead would be included in that class. If you guys would prefer to have a lead class instead, if you feel comfortable doing your cutting and we don't need to teach you how to cut, we can do a lead class.
Yeah.
But
you need to be very proficient.
Usually you need to take that stained glass, that beginner class first, and then the next class will be a lead class. So you might have to take 2 to get into the lead class, but you've got to be proficient in cutting before you can take that.
Yeah, because when we do lead, I don't spend any time on learning how to teach you how to cut glass. So in the beginner class, we spend a lot of time learning how to cut glass, and we learn all of its properties. We have lots of Band-Aids around for everybody, and we're going to learn how to cut glass, because if you can't cut glass, you really shouldn't be moving any further because it's just more work for you. So I'm going to, in the beginner class, we spend a lot of time on learning how to cut glass.
Did I answer Rick and Joseph's questions? Okay. Did we answer them? Okay. All right. I don't have that. I do? I'll tell you what, I am way
Okay, Thule Studios, happy Monday.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry about that. I am way up in the chat.
Yeah, it's if you guys
Thank you, Thule.
Thank you, Thule Studios. So hey, if you guys are asking us a question, put a Q in front of it for us so that we can pick it up easier. Because we've got a lot of people on track tonight, and we're happy to have everybody, but we don't want to miss anybody. And y'all, just a big shout out and a thumbs up to Ray, our moderator here on the ARTyRV channel. Thank you for everything you do, sir, and we appreciate everything.
Okay, so what? Oh, I want to make sure I'm getting all these questions, and I was way up in the chat, still reading the chat. I mean, we've got a lot
That's
of
why we
questions
need
here.
that cue.
And
Give us a
I
cue.
didn't even see that. Yes, so
Please give us a cue so Barb can say
there.
question. Yeah.
Let's see. Where are we on the question part? Let's go to Genia. Is that where I would be? Are you supposed to put putty how became on a copper foil sun catcher?
You don't need to. What you do need to do is make sure you put some 16 gauge wire all the way around your sun catcher so that it doesn't come apart. And remember, when y'all are making your jump rings to hang your sun catchers on, those jump rings can be made any diameter just by changing the diameter of your ring maker. I say your ring maker because sometimes I use the handle on my flux brush. Sometimes I use a pencil lead. Sometimes I even go as small as using my 1/8 inch copper or my brass hinge part and do it like that. Now, when you get down that small, you're going to have to use your grousing pliers to hold that so that you can solder it to it.
Thank you,
to
Ellen.
your piece.
We had another.
Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you guys so much. It's awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So, hey, Barb, can we continue with our glass chat, you think?
Yeah, I can
If you
get
have
it.
any questions, y'all, please put a Q on it so Barb can pick it up much
and
easier.
I do have a question.
Okay,
Huh?
let's go.
Do you want to do the question or do?
There's a lot of. I was just
There's a lot of questions.
Okay, keep going. We don't worry. We got
Okay.
all night.
Okay, we got all night. You heard the guy.
You heard it. We got all night. For you guys, we've got all night. Thank you.
Okay. Let me. Where are we starting?
My new position tonight with my chair, I really like it.
Okay.
I feel like I can see every one of you out there. I am just really excited about the new position of my chair.
I thought I had it. Well, I can't find it.
above tools.
Above Thule. Okay. Oh, let's see. I don't see it. Oh, when are y'all coming to your friend's house in Greer? Or your friends in Greer? I don't know. Was that the question?
Scott.
Yeah, I don't know. I know
Scott?
we are.
Oh, Scott, great question. Karen, I'll call you if we go to Greer.
Yeah. Well, I know we're coming up for Christmas to see the family. We'll be in the RV and whatnot. And we got some
Okay.
great news today. Our granddaughter's coming in for Christmas too. It's going to be one heck of a fun time this year.
Scott wanted to know if we ever did a hot glass live stream. No, we haven't.
We
That
haven't,
would
but
be
I didn't know
interesting,
anybody
right?
would be interested. Would you guys like to have a live stream while we're blowing glass? Because we could do it.
We might be able to do it.
We might be
I
able
think
to
we
do
could- I think-
Short one.
Yeah, we
yeah,
could do a
we
short.
could do a short one. I don't
Or-
know if it would be a Q&A. It would be more like a demo.
Yeah, so we could do like a demo and make you guys make an ornament, maybe show
It would
you
have
the
to be
process of making a bowl or something. Yeah, because we got 20 of those bowls to make right now. So
That's right.
so we can get a video out of that, right, Barb?
Yeah, we might be able to get a well, we're going to do some videos, but live stream, we might be able to work that out. It might be kind of fun, as a matter of fact.
You know what? I had never been called the cat's pajamas before, Sally, and you know what? That's good. I like that.
Where do you see that at?
Totally.
Tully. Oh, you're funny, Tully.
You're
That's
good
cute.
because that's the first time I've looked over there tonight because of the position of my new chair, and I really enjoy my new chair. So.
Mark wants to know, is there a way to sharpen lead nippers? I'd like to keep using the ones my grandfather used, but they're starting to dull up.
Oh, what you need to do, find someone that sharpens, is a scissor sharpener, because there's a very specific angle on the blade that they use. Yes, they can. 'Cause you know what? I send my diamond shears that I cut molten glass with, and you would think they wouldn't have to be sharp, but let me tell you, if they're not sharp, all you do is pull it. So yeah, find you a person that sharpens scissors, and they're your person to sharpen your lead nippers. And continue to use your grandfather's tools, man. That's awesome.
That is
I still use some of my father's tools, and I'm happy to have them in my hand.
Okay, we have another question. Do you make an ornament design each year that is limited to that year for collecting? We make a new one every year.
At least one, yes.
One new one every year. It's not limited to that year, but it is new every year. We haven't made a limited edition, except the White House ornaments are limited to 50 a year.
Yeah. So the ornament that we made for the White House in 2010 is limited. We only make 50 of those a year, and we've been making 50 of them a year since 2010. So we're very fortunate, and we're very fortunate that we're able to reproduce that work, as many of our friends who have made things for the White House are not. And that's kind of sad sometimes.
Ellen has a question. She says, how important is copper foil to the structural integrity after the piece is soldered and framed?
It's what holds it together, Ellen. And that is the integrity of the window. And I tell people that want to be able to, that want to take a cracked piece of glass out of a repair job. Cracks, y'all, are normal. As soon as you remove that piece and put the new one in, you've already messed with the integrity of the existing window. So I had a very nice call from a girl named Carrie who watches our shows, and she's in Southern California. And we talked about y'all can call me. It costs you, but y'all can call me. We can set up a time. We do 15 minutes, $25, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions that you need in person. But and we do the chat. So anyway, I explained to Carrie how to do the project after she sent me some pictures. And she was under the impression, she's a stained glass artist, but looking at it, she was under the impression it was copper foil. Well, lo and behold, all it was 400 pieces of glass, square glass, in a beautiful lead half circle that were actually sconces on the front of an old house. And she's redoing them. And once I explained to her it was lead and how to do that, she was excited. And I'm so happy that she called, and we appreciate you watching and anything else that we can do for any of y'all. Thanks again for tuning in.
Okay, MB had a question. The patina on the first project in class project came out very badly with not our class, but his other class. He used school provided materials. Is it possible to remove the patina and try again with better quality products?
Let me tell you what you need to do. It's not the patina that's messed up. It's just that it wasn't cleaned correctly the first time. So here's the deal. Take steel wool, eliminate the patina. It'll come back. Your solder will come back shiny. Then when you get done with that, clean it with baking soda. And it could be too, if you used 50-50 solder, it's not going to look as good as if you used 60-40. The patina is designed to tint the tin in the solder, okay? So if you're using, that's why why everybody uses 60-40 solder on their copper foil projects, because it's the patina that's going to do that. So what you need to do is, don't resolder it if you've already done that, but clean it with steel wool, and then clean it again with baking soda and water. And once you do that, the patina should turn, if it's 50-50 solder, it's not going to be dark like it would be if it were 60-40, but it will be darker and it will look better. So try that out. Give us a shout and let us know how it worked for you.
Okay, a lot of people said they would love to see the live glass blowing demo. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool, because we didn't really... I was like, well, you know what? We do stained glass, and but you know what? Honestly, we do glass.
We were talking about that a
Just
little while ago.
10 minutes before the live stream.
Are you guys interested in glass blowing?
And if you are, yes,
we'll show you more.
We'll be happy to show you more. It's something that actually our son introduced us to this 28 years now, Barb? Introduced us to glass blowing by setting us down in a glass blowing studio while he finished up a class so we could go to lunch. And he left us there for about 2 hours. Y'all, that 2 hours was completely amazing to Barbara and I. We were in awe. Like two kids watching them stock candy in the shelves in a store. We were just like totally amazed. So anyway, it got us started. I want hats off to my son Dennis, because you know what? You got us started in it, man, and you know we love it.
Lassiter family wants to know, is there anything about glass you don't know?
Well, yeah, probably.
You learn something new every day.
Actually, I learn something new every day. I learn something I learned something this weekend while we were making ornaments for a project that we're working on. I learned something new this weekend about that. It actually increased our timing and made our timing better with each other. And it was just a simple thing that we had. Actually, it happened and we didn't know that it happened. And then we were like, oh my gosh, okay, let's try it this way from now on. And it works. So there's a lot of things that I probably don't know about glass because I don't pretend to know everything because I don't. I'm one of those people though. I've only really done a couple things in my life, but glass has been 43 years of it. And it's not that I'm that old, but this is the better part of my adult life. And I needed to know, not wanted, I needed to know everything that I could comprehend about this material. So yeah, I know a lot of things about glass, and if I can't answer your question, hopefully I can put you on somebody that can. But the main thing is, y'all, is I'm here to help you with my knowledge, and it's greatly appreciated, all your questions. And the other thing is just the kind words that you offer to Barbara and I are motivation enough for us to keep going. And thank you very much.
Karen wants to know, by chance, do we make blown glass and incorporate ashes from a deceased loved one?
You know, Karen, the answer to that question is 2023.
We're doing pet ashes.
We're doing pet ashes starting in January.
But we don't do.
We can't.
Human
Humans are a little
ashes.
bit different.
We're not doing that.
And yeah, we're.
I'm sorry.
Humans, we can't do that.
But pet ashes, we will be doing that after the first of the
After
year.
the first of the year, we'll be doing pet ashes. And y'all, we offer a beautiful paperweight with a flower inside of it, with your pet ashes inside the stamen of the flower. So.
Julie went to the Chrysler and saw them make a plate yesterday. And she had no idea.
They made a rondelle for you? Oh, that's awesome, right?
Yeah. Maybe we could do that.
Yeah, we could make a bowl or a plate for y'all. Because, we do make rondelles. So we make them in all different colors.
Okay. Have I missed any questions? Or can we move on to the... We okay? Joan has a question. Let's see.
Did you reinforce the boat picture?
Oh, where is that? I'm not seeing. Down?
Right there, Joan.
Oh, okay. Did you reinforce the boat picture?
No, I did not. And you know what? I don't even think I had any rebar to do it with. I probably could have, but because
if it had been in a door,
if it had been in a door, I would have had to, right? And if it had been in a window, I would have had to. But because it's been hanging in a frame in all of our homes over 37 years, 36 years.
It was even in the flood of what year was it?
Yeah, but that's why it's painted blue, because it was in the flood in 1999, and the flood water was up to the second.
It was up to the
blue
water.
stripe. Yeah,
up to the second blue stripe in the water, and the frame was damaged, so we painted it and
we
covered
painted
it
it
up.
blue.
But yeah, it made it through the flood.
Thanks for asking, though. Yeah. This one would require, in a door, would require 2 pieces of horizontal rebar. Okay, and you say, well, why would you put 2 horizontal lines in it? It's just part of it. It's how it would have to go, and it would make it so rigid that you would never have to worry about it the rest of its life in the door. So
yeah. Okay.
So we just basically break that up into 4 individual components, and we would install 2 rebars.
All right. So do you want to go to
We can, because
demo? Demo, or
well,
what
I
are we
want to
doing?
go over. I just want to go over. Somebody sent me a message, and they wanted to know what I use to help me once I've mitered my framing material. What did I use to hold that miter together so I could glue and screw it? Well, I'm going to share that with you again tonight, and I'm going to give you a video to watch so that you can understand how to frame your own windows with the materials. Okay. So I'm going to bring this over to, we need camera number 2, Barb.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Is that good?
I can do that.
Okay. So I want to show you all this. This is called a swivel miter vise, okay? A swivel miter vise. And what it does is this handle here, now you can see everything. This handle here backs up and it will hold up to a 3.5 inch wide piece of wood. Well, this is our framing material. Okay, it's got a groove in it. I'll show it to you that way so you can see how it's cut. So this is done with a dado blade. This is white oak. It's absolutely just dry as it can be, and it's not going to warp or anything. So what I do after I put a little bit of glue on this joint here with a brush, the same way with this joint, is I bring these two pieces together in the frame like this, okay? And I'm going to tighten that up. Okay, it'll slide around in there until you can get it exactly the way you need it. Okay, so you torque that down and there you go. So you have a beautiful miter. Your glue is on it. You drill an 1/8 inch hole and then countersink that hole. Now you can buy a bit that is a 1/8 inch drill bit and a countersink at the same time. For you woodworkers, you know which bit I'm talking about. I don't know what it's called because I just use a countersink and an 1/8 inch bit. But and then I put an 1 5/8 very coarse threaded sheetrock screw in there. So this is a swivel vise, y'all. It's at our Amazon store, and I think that you'll really be happy with it because it's going to make short work out of a long process. If you can't get these miters right and make them look good, it's not only the saw cutting the 45, everybody, it's also the tool that you use to put it together. And remember, brown glue instead of white, and everything will work out just fine. So I'm going to share that with you. This is a beautiful tool to have. They come in sets of 2. You get a pair of them, not just one, but you get a pair, okay? So this is a swivel vise.
Now, that's on the Amazon store?
We have that on our Amazon store. We do,
You
yes.
looked at it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And is that 1 inch frame?
This is 1.5 inches.
1.5 inches.
This is 1.5 inch frame. They do make 1 inch, and they also make it for either 1/8 inch glass, or I always buy it because I put 3/8 flat H lead around everything I do so that it fits in the frame correctly, it doesn't rattle, and it looks really good, y'all. So I just wanted to share that with you. And that was a good question. How in the world do you get your miters so good, Ed? Because I bought a tool for $27.
And I apologize, guys. I didn't put all the links to the Amazon store in the description this week. I don't know what I was thinking. I will post it tomorrow so that you can easily link to the store, and I'll make sure that that's in there.
Yeah. So you guys were kind enough
Sorry
to let us
about
know
that.
you'd like to see us blow glass a little bit, and you'd like to you'd like to see the hot shop and how that things are going on back there. We have rearranged actually the back studio. We now have our stained glass retail shop back there, and we're getting ready to have a huge bullseye sale, and so get your Christmas money ready. And so we'll be blowing glass. We've even changed the cutting table. It was in the way for about 4 years, and we moved it, and it looks really nice now.
Okay. Scott wanted to know about the rebar. Could you explain to him about the rebar? He thought it was like building rebar.
Oh, no. Okay, so the rebar that's used in the stained glass industry, Scott, and it's a good question. Thank you very much. So prior to, let's just say maybe the 30s. Prior to the 30s, they used to attach
They did use that.
copper wires to the window, and then they used round bars, horizontal bars, and they would pull the wire and twist the wire, cut it off, and fold it over. Now, I've been into many windows like that, where that copper wire is still everlasting. And but let's get back to your question, Scott. I'm sorry, I can ramble on about a lot of things.
It's woo.
Woo! Hold
We'll get
on, here we go. So anyway, the rebar that we use today is flat steel. It's 1/8 of an inch on the profile. When you look at it horizontally, it's usually 3/8 of an inch or a 1/2 inch on the width. So you put the 1/8 inch against the glass or the window, and then watch our solder video on how to apply rebar. We're applying rebar, and that wave that I talk about in that window, that wave that I talk about that goes from the lead down onto the rebar is very important. Your rebar, though it's steel, it is dipped in hot tin. So your rebar is tinned. Okay? And that, you heat up your rebar just like in the video. You heat up your rebar, put a little bit of solder on it, and then boom, apply your soldering iron at an angle like that, and you get that beautiful wave from the lead right on to the steel rebar. And that, my friends, will keep that window in check for a very long period of time.
I have one more question,
Sure.
and I think I'm not sure about this, but Magali has a question.
Sure.
Desoldering braid from Radio Shack, is that something you can use in stained glass?
You can, but let me. If you need to remove some solder, what's that thing called? Oh, a solder sucker.
Yeah, it's just to remove the solder. I don't know how many times you would have to
So what
use
you
that.
do is you put a little bit of water in the bubble. It's actually used to clear out infants' congestion in their nasal cavities. Okay, you can purchase it at Walgreens or whatever. But you put a little bit of water in it so that when you suck the solder up in there, it doesn't, you don't use it completely vertical. Use it on an angle, melt your solder, squeeze it, melt your solder, suck it up in there and eliminate it.
Well, she has a desoldering braid. And
Well, the braid does work, but it's
we've
just...
used it before.
Yeah,
But,
I would prefer the solder sucker.
yeah.
What I call a solder sucker. I don't know what it's called, but I call it a solder sucker. And they last forever, but you have to put a little bit of water in it, Magali, before the solder braid is good. Mostly that solder braid is used for picking up solder off of electronics, though.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what it's
because you need to be able to dip it down into where you're working, because usually where you're working is elevated, and you need to be able to get it down in there and pick it up.
Okay. Do you have anything else for us today, Ed? Do you have another?
Well, you know what, Barb? I had a question today, or I don't know, whenever it was, but somebody wanted to know that your glass cutter looks really good, but what in the world is that ball for on the end of it? Well, now there's a video out there that shows you how to use it, but I'm just going to take a minute, Barb, and I'm going to show them. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to take this. So let's just say we're gonna cut this.
Okay.
We're gonna cut this little piece of glass, okay? And now I'm going in far enough where let's pretend Ed doesn't own a pair of running pliers. Oh my gosh! And
This is in case you don't have running
in case you don't have running pliers, okay?
So you just have a glass cutter.
If you have a glass cutter, and you might have a pair of grousers if you're lucky. But this is what happens with this ball right here. Okay, if you unscrew it, you'll realize that it's solid. And this ball is actually designed to help start the run. Okay, listen. There it is. My run, those 3 taps. My run ran from right here to right there, and now all I have to do, put my index finger bent, thumb on top, index knuckles underneath, and break. Okay? Let's do that one more time, everybody. Here we go. We're going to try it again. Oh my, listen to your glass cutter, because this one's telling you this is a dense glass. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. And there's my run. I did 4 because I got my run. Make sure if you're going to tap your score, take the time to tap it directly underneath of the score, just like if you had your running pliers, that line. That's the center of your score. So remember, we're going to put our index fingers bent up like that, our thumb on the top and bottom. Here we go. Down and away. Because I promise you, if you stab yourself with that corner right there, all you're going to do is go get a Band-Aid. So just to let you know, now if there's not a score there, nothing happens because it doesn't have anywhere to go. So you're breaking it from underneath just like your running pliers. And let's do that. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to make sure I get directly underneath of my score. See that right there? 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
perfect.
Y'all, there are more than one. Your glass cutter houses more than one tool on it. The glass cutter is just part of it. This bad boy here will save your life if you're not careful, and it'll surely help you break glass correctly. So that's just my little spiel for using the ball on the end of a glass cutter. And you know what? That ball has been there forever. Not just on my glass cutter, but on early glass cutters such as the Fletcher, who Fletcher's been making cutters for a long time. And that's what that ball's for. So that's a great question. I needed to show you that. And also, well, we got to see me use a square. Your square is important. This is an important tool in your tool arsenal. If you don't have one, you need one.
Okay, there is a question about the straight edge. They can't seem to keep their cutter straight close to the straight edge. Okay, so...
You know why? You have to be able to...
And do they have one with the lip on the
Yeah,
bottom?
so do you have one with a... Are we back over here, Barb? Mm-hmm. Do you have one with a lip that holds it against the glass?
You have to do,
You have to do that.
one.
But the other thing is, here's the deal. If you're trying to hold your cutter like this, okay? I'm sorry, but you can't do it. Your middle finger pushes against the cutter, the square, and you pull, your middle finger is guiding you. Let's break this.
And with a straight edge, you pull the cutter.
Yeah, with a straight edge, you pull the cutter. If you're cutting straight lines and pushing, change up. I know it's a... Anyway, straight lines, you pull. Patterns, you push.
It did it again. Every time I change the main camera, the confetti goes.
It's okay. We love confetti because it's a party tonight.
I have it on, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Barbara's got it
It's a
on.
party. We have 10,150 subscribers, maybe more. And we just want to thank everyone that's been watching our videos, subscribing to our channel, the super chats, the super stickers, the everyone that has done so much over the last 2 years.
You guys are so supportive of us, and you give us the energy to show up every Monday night, and because we've got to see you, we've got to hear you, and I feel like I'm in the room with every one of you. So if you'll use your if Barbara will switch back to camera number 2, I'm just going to show you how I hold my glass cutter, and I want you to see it.
Okay.
It's not that it's the only way to hold my glass cutter, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, when you're cutting straight lines, you need to pull the cutter to you, okay? Pull it. Pull it.
And get a straight edge
And
with
get
the
a straight
lip.
edge.
With the
With a
lip.
lip. This is your guide. This makes it a perfect square. A perfect 90-degree angle. So what we want to do, if you're cutting patterns, okay, we're going to cut this one. I'm going to cut a pattern. We're pushing. Okay? If I was trying to do that pulling, you know what's going to be in the way? This hand. My palm, everything, my wrist, it's all in the way. Why would I want that? I don't want that at all. Okay? So if I wanted to, I'm going to show you again. And it's good if it may be just the technique that you're holding your cutter. I know people that cut glass like this. You see that? You see how that's held? And they've been cutting glass for 50 years, just like that. Okay? And they even cut patterns. It's very, to me, it's uncomfortable, but they love it. But my technique is this. The V in my thumb 3/4 of the way down, my index finger below that, and my middle finger guides my cutter. Okay? Just like that. And you know what? And we tap it, and we're all set.
That's
I
awesome.
hope that helps y'all. I swear I do.
I thought that was great.
It's so simple, but you know what? When I teach a class, I teach you everything that you could possibly know about cutting glass before we even start working on a pattern. You're going to learn how to cut glass with me,
It's
guys.
really a good class because it's like a refresher course and you learn so much. So, I mean, I would encourage everyone to take that beginner class. Even though you've taken a beginner class, you're going to learn.
It's a refresher course, but I really put a lot of emphasis on learning how to cut glass because you know you can teach anybody to put copper foil around it and all that, and at the end of the class I'm going to teach you how to solder.
And Kat St. Jane said you have to start with square glass. You most definitely do.
And if you have a square, you square it up
That's right.
because not everything is square like this. Now I'm going to show you what a square will do for you. Okay. Hey Barb, can you switch over to me please? I just want to show.
Yeah. Oh, we have a lot of classes. Ellen wants to know if that class is online. We have tons of classes online for beginners.
So I want y'all to see this. I'm going to bring this back so you can see it. Okay, so this is my square.
Yes, Ellen.
This is my square. You see how fat this is down here? And it's at the end of the glass right there. So the first thing you want to do, everybody, is square your glass up. That's the difference from one end to the other. You can't make that work if you're going to start cutting borders. Guess what? Your borders are all out a 5/8 of an inch. Not just a 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch. That's even worse.
And it gets worse as you keep cutting.
As you keep cutting, it just gets bigger. Here we go again. Look at this right here. See the difference? I'm using my cutter. See the difference right there? And I'm on the very edge right there. I don't even have room for my wheel. So slide it over just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing right here. Now I know this is window glass, but I'll do it on any glass that you want. So, but the main thing, my gig is, now we've squared up this edge, we've squared up that edge. Let me show you what happens. Ready? Square. There you go, right there. Same distance, start to finish. Everything's square, it's straight. Ladies and gentlemen, start cutting.
Yes, and you can find that on in our Amazon shop.
In
we
our
have
Amazon
two of them.
shop.
We have one that's 18 inch
18 inches.
and one that's a 12.
The 18-inch one runs about $14 or $16, and the 12-inch one runs about $11 or something like that.
And that lip is very important.
That lip is very important because it holds that edge for you and allows you to help with your hand holding it square. And if you'll put your thumb on the back of the square, you know, I can hold it up here. You put your thumb on the back of the square, your index finger on the square, and your middle finger like that. That's how you should hold your square. Just like that, okay? This hole here, you know what that's for? Hanging your square, that's all it's for. Don't stick your finger in there because it don't work for nothing.
And all those shorts that we've been doing, cutting the glass and everything, we're squaring all that glass up. We had a lot of glass that we had to square up. And
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Look at the shorts, y'all. Go back and look at the shorts that Barb's been cranking, and you'll see every one of those sheets of glass is this way and that way, and it's all, you know what? We're squaring them up for y'all.
Yep. And then save your scrap because you can use it for so many things.
Yeah, save your scraps. It's not...
You're not wasting it.
Yeah, just because it's out of square Doesn't mean you have to throw it away. You save your scraps, and they're all useful for everything. So,
Okay, Ed. I think that we've kept these people long enough.
how long?
A long time.
Have we had
Has
a
it been
party
long
yet?
We've had so many great things happen tonight, and we've had so many great questions.
I want to say hi to my buddy Scott Veers. Hey, I hope you guys are feeling better.
And so we so many people are here. I can't even list all the people that are here, and as you can see, I'm going to scroll up. You can see all the comments and everything.
All right.
And you
Well,
can go,
hey.
we'll go through them tonight, and we'll connect with you guys later in the week, and say hello to you. I'll send each of you a little message, or members, I'll be sending out a special member video to you guys, and I just want to thank everyone.
Magali, her birthday, she said her birthday is December the 5th. That's the day we turn in that other big job we're working on. That's the delivery date.
So, thank you guys.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you.
And we'll see you next week. And we will just watch our videos. We really appreciate it.
Hugs
it really
to
helps
every
us
one
out
of you.
A lot.
Yeah. Hugs to every one of you. Those of you that
Thank you, Ray.
yeah, and it doesn't take money to support our channel. You show up and you're supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Okay, everybody. We will see you next week. Thank you so much.